Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. One of the things I did was I did a massive study of hand technique for a while. Okay, I went to Don Famularo in 2001, and that was the initiation of learning the free stroke and proper strokes. Ergonom, take care, Swiss. Thank you very much for coming by. Amazing drummer. So I started learning the free stroke. That's about ergonomic techniques. It's about economy of motion, trying to take the stroke and not hit and lift, because that's unnecessary. That's like bouncing a basketball and trying to retrieve it off the floor, you know. So you want to get used to the stick jumping up. So I learned the free stroke. This way we get the most reward out of the least amount of action. Okay. Then I went through stick control with the free stroke very systematically with a metronome and with a clock. Each exercise 1 minute. And I'll elaborate more on that in the future. But the point I'm getting to is after learning the free stroke in the molar systems which are passed down through Jim Chapin, who I talked about earlier, learning those systems through Dom, then I became friends with Art Verdi, who's one of the fastest drummers of our time. If you check him out on YouTube, the speed is incredible. His name's Art Verdi, A-R-T-V-E-R-D-I. So what Art did was he says, the way to get the speed is our wrist muscle is bigger than our finger muscles. So although the wrist muscle can give us more power, it cannot move as fast as a smaller muscle like the fingers. Okay, wrist more power, fingers less power, more speed. So he said, look, what you have to do is, in order for the speed to get its optimal, in order for the fingers to get its optimal speed, the wrist cannot move. Okay, so what you can do is sit there at a pad and hold your wrist and go like this. And make sure it's the fingers propelling the stick. So hold your wrist, make sure the fingers are moving, okay? And then keep working on that with both hands. And so I started doing that after I started hanging out with Art. And I was like, hey Art, I'm trying it, my fingers are doing good, but my wrist is still moving. And he'd yell, they can't move, the wrist can't move. I said, all right, I'm trying. So eventually it happened. My left hand's better at it than my right, because I'm a natural lefty, but you want to find also, speed is very exciting, but you want to also, it'd be cool if you can find a purpose to put it into. So what I was doing before with the molar technique is I put that into a groove. And with the finger technique, I put that into a groove before too. So it wasn't just speed for the sake of speed. I did speed for the sake of speed at one point when I did this. But after like 10 seconds, it's like, yo, shut up. Okay? Dude, all right? I can get a machine gun and do that. So, what I tried to do was put it into a groove. Okay, so, and I'm still working on that. And these little pretty guys are up here, so I experimented on them just to spur of the moment. So what I did was take the left hand and use it as 16th notes. So you got the left hand moving by itself. Okay, then you can put it in other places. Okay, so taking it and trying to put it into a groove like that. Also the same thing with the molar technique, not just learning it. Okay, this is the molar technique where what you're doing is you're allowing your hand to move in a way. This was passed down by the Civil War drummers because what happened was those drummers had to play for hours upon hours, and they had, their equipment got bad with the rain. They had to find an efficient and ergonomic way to play. So they discovered this kind of wavy motion, which allows you to do non-accents and accents comfortably, without jamming your hand into the drum and in and out. So, you can get a lot of endurance with this. So if this is something I learned, then I tried to put it into a beat. This by itself will look something like this in a triplet form. My left hand is able to do non-accents, accents in a circular motion without jamming in like. Like that, so it gets syncopated because it's every third accent. Incorporating the molar and finger systems into a groove. So it's about learning the different techniques with the strokes and the finger strokes, everything else.